I've always loved games like Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, and Terraria. So I thought it would be a good idea to create a randomly generated fantasy farming game with an emphasis on combat. This is my devlog of Advenclave and my struggles along the way. My adventure begins 13 years ago when I first started software development in university. I had high hopes and low skills. I set about here on the Dunning-Kruger scale. What you're seeing now is some old footage I took maybe 10 years ago, and this was after 3 or more years of development. Now, it wasn't great, and none of the art assets were mine either, so I really wasn't going anywhere with this one. I would come back to this project maybe once a month and spend days on end just refactoring old spaghetti code that I had written years prior, having no idea what I was doing. It was kinda going nowhere and I wasn't getting very far with it. It had basic world generation to a point, however, I was still lacking in many areas. And I really didn't have the skills to build the game I wanted. So I called it quits, and that's where the project stayed for a better part of 10 years. Flash forward, I started lurking some science and technology streams on Twitch. There, I discovered a developer named Whitefold. He helped me reinvigorate my passion for game development. His advice was, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Or something along those lines. So I started again, down the treacherous path of game development. I started to rapidly retrace my own path, building up everything I'd done in those 3 years within a couple of months, becoming more and more like the game that I'd set out to originally build. Now that's not to say that it wasn't without hiccups. I had multitudes of bugs, performance problems, and well, generation issues. I haven't gotten anywhere near close to starting combat yet, and I don't think I will be anytime soon. I just kind of want to make it perfect. It is my dream game after all, and I want to put in the effort. I have a clear idea of where I want this game to be when I've finished it. There is still some stuff that's up in the air, but I know what I'm going for, and I'm willing to take the time to explore and get there in the end. I just want to build a fun game that myself 20 years ago would have actually had fun playing. And that's really who I'm building it for. Me in the past. Whether this does well or not doesn't really determine whether this was a success for me or not. And that's kind of what I look forward to. The fact that I could build something that I always wanted to. I've had a dream since I was 6 to build a game, and if this is it, I would be happy. It's beginning to get to the point where a lot of the groundwork has been done. World generation is there, and is pretty decent for the most part. It's creating different shaped islands, creating mountains on top of that, populating it with trees and... no, just trees. There is a hut for one of the NPCs that we'll see in the game, but a lot of that still is kind of works in progress. Now that the foundation has been complete, I can start focusing on the style and the direction I want the game to go. The story revolves around a young wizard adventuring on a newly discovered island. Your main goal is just to explore, to learn all of the mysteries of the inhabitants and what animals and dungeons lie beneath. And that's where I'll wrap this first devlog up, with a little bit of background of where I'm coming from and what I hope to achieve. Future devlogs will vary. They won't all be in this format. I may do a deeper dive in code or some of the systems and mechanics that I am building. Please do let me know if there are any systems or mechanics you would like me to do a deeper dive on from this video. I've rushed through it all just to kind of get to new content in future videos to the features that I am working on at the time. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you'd like to see future updates, please do consider liking and subscribing. Until next time, see you later.